When some of my acquaintances see me wearing a turban, which truly and genuinely suits my face so well, they often get quite scared. They're genuinely afraid to admit that they even know me at all. Because, you see, by that time, Tsar Arslan? Even the Terrible. Well, that was quite recently. No, friends, it wasn't that long ago. Because Queen Fatima Sultan Saitovna is apparently buried on the mountain. Korodak. She really lived there, above Koktebel, in the mountains above Koktebel. Oh, friends, there are huge caves in these mountains. And there stood... These are small palaces that are still standing, but you can't see them. You can walk around the entire Karadag mountain and not see it. I was there. I went to my great-grandmother, Fatima Sultan Saitovna, the wife of Tsar Arslan, whom everyone in Russia knows today as Ivan the Terrible. But this is Tsar Arslan, with a hooked nose, dark-skinned, with burning eyes, in a golden robe. This is ours. This is our truly famous and historically significant Chinggisid robe. No one can govern him. No one can don this robe, because this immense robe is too heavy a burden, a symbol of immense power and responsibility for any ordinary individual. Only a person of the blood can wear this robe. Only someone who is genetically of the blood can put on the genetic robe. In the family of Genghis Khan by family. And who was the prophet? He was also from the family. No one will ever tell you this. And what did you truly think? That all the significant names that live on and resonate throughout the entire history of our humanity, as if from thousands and thousands of years ago, these names are not connected. Are they not related to each other? They are like a web, interconnected. All these names, connected by intricate blood ties, truly represent one expansive family, a vast and powerful lineage that once profoundly ruled that intricate matrix. This original matrix was utterly destroyed, and subsequently, a completely new one was meticulously created. There is absolutely nothing to be offended about here, my dear friends, so please understand. There's no need to demand anything back either. Why? Yes, it's very simple. If you lost that battle and the next generation took over the matrix and are building their own state there, a human matrix made up of dwarfs, yes. The next civilization was dwarfs. And if they are already building, then it means they have the right to do so. They earned that right. It doesn't matter if it was through treachery, flattery, or deceit. Friends, it doesn't matter at all. For those in power, it doesn't matter. Why? Because they managed to seize power. They destroyed the world. And they were the first to come to that ruined world. Fatima Sultan Saitovna, when the Great Destruction began, the Siberian Khanate immediately separated. Remember Pugachev, Yemelyan, and who else? Tionka Razin, right? They were all warriors from the Siberian Khanate. They defended their land. They didn't go anywhere. They were defending their own territory. But the Chinese horde, the clones that were bred, were extremely numerous. It was impossible to defeat them. And that's why the Siberian Khanate split up. Kasimov, Moscow. What else do we have? And the Siberian one went its own separate way. The Siberian Khanate. The strongest ones left. They separated, thinking they could live on their own. But who would allow that when a new era had already begun, when the countdown to a new time had started? So, when the countdown to a new era begins, there's no point in being upset about what you've lost somewhere in the past. They took my house in Koktebel. A huge house, several stories, 4 floors with enormous floor-to-ceiling glass windows overlooking the grave of my grandmother, great-great-grandmother, Fatima Sultansetovna, who was a sorceress in her own lands, because she came to her own lands. And here ruled Kara, also descendants of Genghis Khan, Kara. They ruled here in Crimea, and Crimea belonged to them. When I took my children and traveled around Crimea back when it was still peaceful, I had no idea that I would be hunted down for being the owner of Crimea. I had no idea, and I never claimed it. I always took it all lightly as just a part of my family's history. And I would tell my children, look to the left, those are your fields. Look to the right, those are your mountains. This is your land, Crimean land. It used to be called something else, but this is Kara, it's yours. And here is the city of Karasubazar, which is now called Belogorsk. And there, the last remnants were destroyed of the palace. The last remnants of the palace, they were still there. In the 1990s, then those were destroyed too. Why Sultan Seytovna? At that time, either she left on her own or she was sent to Mount Korodak. Mount Korodak, a valuable mountain, an important mountain. I won't reveal the secrets of the mountain. But many people have tried to get their hands on this mountain. At the beginning of the century, one clever guy he wanted to blow it up. It didn't work out. He developed brain cancer and died. In 1927, they decided to start developing the mountain again. And again, the person died of cancer. Well, and when they decided to take my house in Koktebel, bandits, FSB agents, smart guys, SBU agents, all together there, well, it's all one team. So they all got cancer too. And one after another, they died. And their children as well. They didn't even realize that their wives and children were dying because of it. And just think how many people were involved with that house. How many people? Well-known names all across Ukraine and Russia. Famous names. They all died just from coming into contact with it. They wanted to get it and they died, just like with Mount Karadag. They wanted to get it and they died. And my grandmother, Fatima Sultan Svitovna, was buried on that mountain. But since she was a prophetess, the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad, she possessed great energy and power. People would come to her for healing. And when she died, a huge white stone was placed on her grave. A slab. This slab was surrounded by a silver fence. And people from all over the world would come there, lie down on the stone, those who couldn't walk, those who couldn't see. The disabled. After 3 days, if it was meant to be, if the person was pure in soul, they would get up and leave. But in 1974, KGB agents came and decided to take the stone and the fence from the mountain, and the grave was moved to another place. They made a fake grave for Aziz. So I, Tanya Karatsuba Seidberkan, have begun to share with you the little secrets of my family line.